Dave Ramsey doesn't give very sophisticated advice. You know what? That's true. I don't. I teach you to do really, really, really easy to understand but profound life-changing things to do. Like, live on less than you make. No one does it. Those that do become wealthy. Those that do are in a position to be generous. Those that do avoid debt. Those that don't are a victim of society. It's all stacked against the little man. He can't get ahead. Wah. Right? Live on less than you make. Get out of debt, because if you don't have payments, you have money. The problem is not that most of you don't earn a decent living. Most of you give it to other people because you couldn't resist buying crap that you didn't have the money for. You buy stuff that you don't really need with money you don't have to impress people that you don't even really like. And you give them all your money. Thus, their building in the skyline and the furniture in their executive offices is way nicer than your double wide. You gave them all your money. You work your fingers to the bone, and all you got is bony fingers. You remember the old song? No, some of you ain't that old. Okay. Anyway. That's the deal. Live on less than you make. Stay out of debt. Always be giving money away. Be a good tipper even when the server isn't good. You don't really say anything about the other people when you don't leave a tip. You say more about yourself. Well, I don't think they earned it. See what I mean? There you go. You're just an angry, backward person. And you're all worried about whether some little girl bringing your hamburger did a good job. And you don't even work while you're at work, so shut up. You say take it easy and you mean it. And then you don't leave somebody a tip. I'd be ashamed. And the worst ones are my fellow Christians. Servers don't even want to work on Sundays because Christians are notoriously cheap. They don't leave a tip. And don't blame it on Dave Ramsey, because Dave Ramsey never told you not to tip. Ever. You ought to give. You ought to find somebody that's having a bad day and hand them $20, $100, $1,000. You'd have to have the money to be able to do that, so you'd have to be doing the other thing, which is like living on a budget. A written plan. No one gets to their destination if they don't know what the destination is. Most people with their money do ready, fire, aim. The proper way to do it would be ready, aim, fire. If you're going to go to Florida, you can make up your route from wherever you are along the way, or you could just go ahead and map out where Florida is and start heading in the proper direction. You'd have to, however, know where Florida is. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting there. You'd have to go by proven principles like which way's north and which way's south. I don't like absolute truth. I get it, but you're just stupid. Because there is absolute truth. That way's north and that way's south. And it's independent of your little pointed head. There are things that are the absolute truth. 1 + 1 = 2, and you can't get creative about that. Florida is that way. Canada is the other way. And if you don't like that, you're just what's known as wrong. That's all. It's pretty simple, y'all. So you got to have a plan. You're going to get where you're going only if you know where you're going and you take the steps to get there. That's a budget. Live on less than you make. Live on a budget. Don't get into debt. Be generous. See, this stuff's not hard. Oh, by the way, then you could save, couldn't you? If you saved $100 a month in a decent growth stock mutual fund from age 25 to age 65, you'd have $1,176,000. I don't like your interest rate assumptions. Okay. So change them. That's not the point, stupid. The point is you won't have any money if you don't save some money. It's a basic concept. You want money in your savings account? You want to retire with dignity? It's not an accident. No one gets to millionaire status at age 65 and they look down, there's $1.2 or $2.2 million in their 401ks and go, how'd that happen? Where'd that come from? No one is shocked. They know exactly how they did it. It was over the last 25 or 30 years. They put a little bit every paycheck, automatically drafted out of their paycheck in their 401k, took the company match. They did a Roth 401k or a Roth IRA with a Smart Vestor Pro, and they did it over a long period of time. And this is how you win. This is how you win. So, yeah, the stuff we teach is really basic. Here's the problem. Some of the most profound, life-changing things you will ever learn in your life are very easy to understand. Love your neighbor as yourself. Yeah, but he's a jerk. I know, but love your neighbor as yourself. I know, but he's a Republican. He's a Democrat. He's a Methodist. Whatever. You can always find something. Love your neighbor. It's easy to understand. It's just hard to do, isn't it? Because some people are just not very lovable. If you don't believe me, just get on Twitter. I think that's where all the hateful people live now. It's sad. It's easy to understand. Love your neighbors yourself. Live on less than you make. Always be generous with money. Always be saving money. Stay out of debt. Always have a plan. These are easy to understand. The problem is they're hard to do. It's a very profound thing to decide to take control of your life instead of letting other people and let circumstances dictate to you how you live. You can control the variables. You can't control all of them, but you can even put yourself in such a position that big, hairy, dramatic things are not so big and hairy and dramatic. I wrecked my car last night because I'm stupid. I turned in front of a woman. It was my fault. That's a variable I can't control because I was stupid. You know what I can control? I have the money to buy the insurance, and I did, and it fixes my car and her car, and she wasn't hurt and I wasn't hurt. Everybody's going to be okay because I controlled the variables I could control, even though I apparently don't know how to drive. So there you go. I haven't had a car wreck in years. God, decades. Stupid. But you know what? Those are variables you can't control. I actually could have controlled that variable. My wife told me about it on the way home. But anyway, there you go. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.